the world of boxing, Mike Tyson has cemented himself not only as an icon, but as a symbol of masculine fortitude.
I was going to rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion.
He held the entire heavyweight division in awe while shaking the powerful Titans.
Trevor Burke, we should point out, has been found twice. There's another big shot by Tyson. Freaking deep in trouble. Down he goes. That was a right to the body and an uppercut to the head. And
Today we'll look back at Iron Mike's incredible journey. We'll touch on the dark side of the moon, namely the story of his fatal defeats. Get ready for contrasting emotions and thoughts. How did the legendary Mike Tyson even manage to lose to anyone? This is Boxing Game. Here we go. Mike Tyson already started his journey in professional boxing at the age of 18. And in 5 years, he racked up a record of 37 wins, finishing 33 opponents, having 0 losses.
He is right here. He is picking his shots well. He is hurting. This one could be over. Perfect timing by Joe Cortez. When he saw that last right hand land, he could...
Sometimes the gaps between fights were a week, and thanks to such hard work, he became the WBC and WBA heavyweight champion at the age of 20. Meanwhile, the undefeated Evander Holyfield was making his way to the top of the food chain, and the public was waiting for the two monsters to meet to find out the absolute and undisputed champion of the world. Holyfield, nicknamed a real deal after another defense of WBC Continental America's heavyweight title, took a break and the fight was postponed. And the scandalous manager, Don King, having got Iron Mike in his hands, didn't want his pocket to be empty and organized for Prime Tyson, a favorable fight with the 7th number of the rating, The Ring, James Buster Douglas. James Douglas has never been a star in the boxing world and has been knocked out 3 times in his career.
there was a left hook there, and a right behind it, and another right. Douglas is in deep trouble on the ropes. Almost.
The only thing that allowed him to get a golden ticket to fight Tyson was his impressive streak of 6 wins in a row.
Fighting a younger guy right in the prime of his career at age 28. Shameful is fighting Douglas has landed blows living up the top of lesser opponents.
It seemed that this fight would be an easy walk for the terrifying beast, and after that, Mike would face real opposition in the name of Holyfield. But a series of events that seemed insignificant didn't give Tyson a rest, destroying him from the inside. In '85, the only one who had influence over Iron Mike, his first and main coach, Cas D'Amato, passed away. A little later, when no one and nothing could prevent the money-hungry Don King, Tyson fell under his influence and immediately canceled his contract with manager Bill Caton. And in '86, at the personal request of Don King, the entire coaching staff of Mike was fired, including Kevin Rooney, the successor of Cas D'Amato, who turned the young and unknown Tyson into an indestructible boxer, who unified 3 champion belts for the first time in the history of boxing. The problems didn't end there. In '89, Tyson scandalously divorced his first wife, model Robin Givens, and after going through the judicial process, gave her a considerable amount of money as compensation. Black streak of failures pressed on the young star, and Mike led a binge life, skipping training. Mike's future opponent wasn't doing so well either. Buster's wife left him, and his mistress, who gave him a son, spent her last days in a hospital bed, dying of leukemia. 23 days before the fight, Douglas lost the person who inspired him throughout his career, his mother, Lula Douglas. When the fight was 10 days away, Douglas got the flu, and the manager was authorized by the World Boxing Council to use antibiotics, but no one had any thoughts of withdrawing from the fight. February 11, 1990. Tokyo was looking forward to seeing how fierce Mike will destroy the contender to his belts. But in the ring, it became apparent that Iron Mike's eyes lacked the fire and desire to kill his opponent. What can't be said about Buster Douglas. He was focused on the bout. It seemed that the problems that happened earlier made him stronger. The bell sounded, and the fighters clashed in the center of the ring.
Fighter who likes to work behind a stiff left jab.
Douglas, unlike Tyson's previous opponents, used his arm-length advantage and reached at distance with his jabs. occasionally using his combinations.
See, Mike has to be careful also because Mike's...
Feeling threatened for the first time, Iron Mike began to lose his composure, which made him rush into the fight even after the bell.
13 punches, but a number of...
Beating the bloodthirsty monster like a harmless puppy continued, and by the end of the second round, Iron Mike was close to a knockdown.
By punch stat computations, 22 punches to 8. Round
Very hard right hand by Douglas inside.
Another right hand lead lands for Douglas.
To reach in. When you reach in, that's what happens. Another good right hand and a good right uppercut and 2 more.
By the middle of the fight, Iron Mike was completely lost in the ring. And Buster, in turn, as a blacksmith, with his sledgehammers, smashed the metal opponent.
Walk in there because that jeopardizes you. Put you in a lot of trouble.
Douglas, accurate with the jab, was extremely close to his mother. Right hand by Douglas, right on Tyson's chin.
Yes. Good enough hook by
Douglas again with the left. Another right hand, and now Tyson seems to be wobbled. Mike is not...
The problems in the lack of Coach Kevin Rooney and his team of cornermen were revealed when Tyson got a hematoma. The cornermen didn't have a full aid kit nearby and used only a medical glove filled with ice to deal with the problem. In the 8th round, Douglas was so carried away by the Titans' attack and wanting to finish the legendary Mike, completely forgot about defense. Tyson took advantage of the gap in the opponent's defense and with a whip uppercut sent Buster to count the stars.
You see how easily Douglas is dominating the action.
I've never seen this happen before with Mike Tyson. Here he's against the ropes. I've never seen.
And there's a right hand uppercut, and down goes Douglas.
The referee counted the knockdown, and the spectators were getting ready to see the fall of Buster, who could hardly stand on his feet. But fate gave the outsider one more chance. The heavyweights exchanged fantastically powerful punches for 2 more rounds.
Right to the body, he tries the uppercut again and misses. Douglas comes back with a left and a right. Solid right cross. Douglas. Shades of Ray Leonard against Tommy Hearns. Right. Tyson is wobbling. Tyson needs the ropes for support. Douglas wailing away. Without the ropes, Mike would have gone down. Mike Tyson was on the verge of going down. Solid right hand by Douglas.
And finally, in the 10th round, there was the loudest upset in the boxing world.
Try to get in the shot that will finish things in.
Oh, the uppercut.
What an uppercut by Douglas, and down goes Tyson.
It all started with a stunning uppercut from Douglas. He then delivered a combination that not only removed the baddest man on the planet from the throne, but also caused Iron Mike's first defeat. Seeing Tyson unable to put on his mouth guard on his own, the referee declared James Buster Douglas victorious.
It's over. It's over.
Mike Tyson has been knocked.
Fans around the world were shocked. Many viewers cried, some because their idol was beaten, and some because of the lost bet. But no one remained indifferent. On this day, the world literally saw God fall. In the interview after the hardest bout, Douglas couldn't hold back his emotions and shared how hard this fight was for him.
Why did it happen, James?
Because I wanted it.
Why? Why did you win this fight that nobody on the planet gave you?
His mother.
In what way?
God bless her heart.
Let him go, Larry.
After he got knocked down,
When the great Mike Tyson ascended to the top of the boxing Olympus, every person on the planet dreamed of seeing him in the ring fight against Evander Holyfield, and the meeting of these heavyweights was imminent. After the defeat to James Douglas, Iron Mike racked up 4 more wins and came as close as possible to a duel with a real deal.
Something, or else it's just a question of a few seconds.
That'll do it.
But Tyson was jailed for raping an 18-year-old beauty contestant, Desiree Washington. After many years, Mike will be acquitted in this court case. But Tyson's prime time spent behind bars, alas, no one will return. After serving 3 years, Mike Tyson had to regain his form and prove to the world that boxing has a king, and his name is Iron Mike. After taking the souls of 4 more opponents, the baddest man on the planet still made it to the fight with Holyfield. But during these 5 years, the situation in the heavyweight division changed dramatically. Evander was no longer in undefeated status, and in the trilogy with Riddick Bowe, had a record of 2, one in favor of Bowe in their head-to-head meetings. Finally, the 30-year-old heavyweights came face-to-face in '96. Tyson put the WBA championship belt on the line, which he had taken from Bruce Seldon previously, while Evander Holyfield lost all his titles and was the underdog of the match. The 12-round fight began, and Las Vegas held its breath waiting for the winner.
Well, as Garcia from last year in which Garcia died, we'll see if he's overly cautious, and as expected.
From the first seconds of the fight, Mike confidently went on the attack, and in an interview after the fight, he admits that he wanted to finish Holyfield quickly, but lost a lot of energy because of it.
But Evander's a warrior. He will coming close a lot. We've been wondering.
A straight right hand by Tyson that landed.
There was a strong tension between the opponents, and thanks to the gladiatorial spirit, the fighters didn't stop boxing even after the bell. In the next rounds, Holyfield felt the distance, and the punches of the former absolute champion began to catch the face of Tyson. Moreover, Evander became the first who pinned the legendary Mike to the ropes.
That left hook missed by Holyfield. He spins Tyson around. Tyson against the ropes.
I'll tell you what, the crowd thought that Mike was hurt. Looks like they were a good shot.
Combination.
Next, a real deal went through the levels, not taking Iron Mike's uppercuts as a serious threat.
Straight left hand there by Mike Tyson, but a glancing blow back comes Holyfield.
They got Evander's attention, and good.
Tyson unleashing uppercuts to the body.
By the middle of the fight, Holyfield had solidified himself as the favorite, and to remove all questions, he knocked the legendary heavyweight down.
Champion, like the overachieving warrior that he is.
Tyson lunged in with his head down to shorten the distance, and in one such attack, the Titans clashed heads. Mike got a cut in this clash, demonstrating to the world that Iron Man can bleed too. At the stretch of the 10th round, Holyfield stunned Tyson, and a sustained series of bombardment wasn't long in coming.
Holyfield's on road now, he's taking his shit for it.
Tyson's in trouble.
Evander didn't have enough time to finish the story, and Tyson's destruction was postponed.
Tyson down and end the fight. Tyson is not in trouble.
A distraught Mike walked to his corner, feeling the ground go out from under his feet as the audience cheered, but not him. The loyal fans still believed that Tyson had the power in his hands, and one punch could put a real deal to sleep. But as the 11th round began, all their dreams were shattered by Holyfield's fists.
At a time, see, that's the one that did it. See, as he came in, that's what they've been
Were landing the same uppercuts that Tyson is famous for. He was getting hit with there.
Tyson tasted crushing defeat for the second time and handed over all his titles, now to their legitimate owner.
The real deal, Holyfield.
I got caught in some exchanges, and he fought a hell of a fight, and I just commend you. Thank you very much. I have the greatest respect for you.
Having collected a huge bag of money, in 6 months, the godfather of boxing, Don King, hurried to organize a rematch, which holds the status of one of the most profitable fights to this day.
Anticipation as before the first fight is almost palpable.
Unlike the first fight, Evander was the aggressor, intent on not dragging the fight into the late rounds.
Now, Giacchetti said he's going to be bobbing, weaving, he's going to be jabbing, and then throwing a right afterwards.
Left hooks by left jab. Looking to set up the right. After the end of the fourth, they go to the card. And that.
By the third round, Tyson, who knew how to break dangerous opponents, finally woke up.
In the offense of Mike Tyson.
I think you can sense him.
Tyson with a left hook to the head of Holyfield.
He hurt Mike really good with that right hand. I tell you what.
Charge. Over the top.
And he better get started. Round 2, very bad for Tyson.
Nice right hand by Mike.
On the belt. Tyson with a short left hook to the head of Holyfield.
Then in this fight, there was a scandal that only a man without ears hasn't heard about.
You can see it. You can see it. There it is.
I can't believe what I'm...
Tyson proved that he was still hungry for victories and took a bite out of Holyfield's ear for lunch. The referee took 2 points off the hooligan and persuaded Evander's team to continue the bloody fight. But the situation didn't change. Iron Mike put his teeth into action again, but the fragment could only be seen on the video replay, and the referee disqualified the hunter on the ear flaps.
You know, it's funny, Mike,
He's got his mouth on it. See it? See it? It's a shark bite right there.
Bite of the round. Right on Evander's ear.
The baddest man on the planet was furious at this decision and confirmed his nickname by organizing a scuffle in the ring. It took a large number of police officers to stop the former undisputed champion. This legendary moment was captured on the photo and is the embodiment of the danger that Iron Mike radiated. Years later, it will be clear that this behavior of the legend was provoked by Holyfield's headbutt, from which Tyson received a cut, as in the first fight.
The headbutt in the second round, which opened the gash on your eye. Tell us about that first, please.
He butted me in the first round, but then he butted me again in the second round. Then as soon as he butted me, I watched him. He had me holding, and he looked right at me, and I saw him, and he was going for it, and he kept going for it, and he butted me again. He kept going down and coming up, and he charged into me. And no one warned him, no one took any points for him. What am I to do? This is my career. I can't continue getting butted like that. I got children to raise, and this guy keeps butting me, trying to cut me and get me stopped on cut. I got to retaliate.
After a dilogy of defeats against Evander Holyfield, Tyson has once again delighted his fans, once again with 4 straight wins.
He's been down 3 times. How much more punishment? There's a left uppercut.
Meanwhile, a new British favorite has emerged in the boxing world as the 3rd pillar of the heavyweight division, and his name was Lennox Lewis.
Breaking the spirit and resistance, and there's a lot of it. Fortune is caught here and in terrible trouble, and it's stopped.
Tyson and Lewis had already met in the ring back in the early 80s. The Brit was preparing for the junior championships representing Canada, and while training, Lewis and Tyson had some sparring sessions in the gym of the dead Cas D'Amato. At the time, D'Amato told the young boxers that they would still face in the ring. Lennox Lewis later began his journey in professional boxing, wanting to become an Olympic champion, and achieved his goal by defeating the fearsome knockout artist Riddick Bowe in the final. Lewis' power struck so hard at Bowe that in the pros, Riddick preferred to throw the WBC championship belt in the trash than to share the ring with the Brit again. The great coach's prediction came true. When Mike challenged Lewis to a fight, this confrontation immediately gained the status of the most anticipated fight that even rival broadcasters, Showtime and HBO, united for a common broadcast. Ironborn was loved by the public. For them, he was the man who personified boxing, a mean guy who was interesting for everyone to watch. In turn, Lennox Lewis, even brutally knocking out opponents, remained a proper Sunday school boy. If you had wanted to go to the bar on Friday and find adventure with Tyson, then with Lewis, you would have liked to drink a cup of tea. The main reason for organizing the fight for Tyson were financial debts to his former scandalous promoter, Don King, and Mike hoped that earning money, he would pay off the career destroyer. After signing contacts, the boxers organized a press conference in which Iron Mike was unrecognizable. Tyson came close to his opponent and with his actions organized an outrageous scuffle, during which Mike again used his teeth, but this time the object of the bite was Lewis's leg.
Put your mother in a straight jacket, you punk ass white boy. Come in and tell me that if I you in your ass, you punk white boy, you faggot. You can't touch me, you're not man enough. I eat your asshole alive, you bitch. You hoe. Come and say in my face, you ask for that, everybody.
These words were addressed to the journalist, Mark Malinowski, who said that Tyson wasn't adequate and he should be put on a straitjacket. The Ring magazine announced this press conference as the event of the year, and the public expected a ruthless fight. On June 8, 2002, millions of people flocked to their television screens and held their breath, waiting to see the unforgettable spectacle. In the fight, 35-year-old Tyson wanted a quick victory over Lewis, and with the help of an endless hail of attacks, Mike took the first round. Often the fighters went into a clinch, where Lewis took Mike, for which he received a warning.
There's another one.
From that moment on, the American became slower, and Lennox's trademark uppercuts began to reach his chin again and again. Years in prison, abuse of illegal substances, and binge life took their toll, and the reaction for his trademark peekaboo wasn't enough, so Mike had to catch the punches with his face.
Fred, I just looked over at Eddie Cotton, and he signaled to me that the cut was closed.
By the fourth round, Lennox Lewis had taken the advantage and was smashing him with punches, each of which, in terms of power, could be compared to the impact of a truck.
Lennox Lewis has been holding too much.
George, he's also been punching the crap out. He is a dangerous puncher.
Seeing the great Mike on the canvas, it was hard not to be sad, because the whole era that watched his reign saw the fall of the king. Before the fifth round, Lewis was told by his coach that it was time to finish, because Mike looked like a lifeless corpse. Thanks to his fighting spirit, Tyson endured 2 more rounds of hellish beating, after which came the round that will always be remembered by his loyal fans.
Remember, Tyson has not been able to land one straight.
Let's bring in Harold Letterman and see how he has the fight score.
All you have to know is that so far, it's all
Lewis, clearly the aggressor inside the ring. Again, you understand? Not many people can do that. You understand? Now look.
Lennox caught a nearly blinded Mike in one eye with 2 dynamite uppercuts, and then knocked out Tyson with a sniper shot.
He's got heart. You can't take that from him.
doesn't require that kind of maniacal conditioning to fight that fight. Make this a more even fight than it was. But Lennox Lewis made it.
Having defeated the legendary Mike, Lewis inflicted his 4th defeat on him, but he was never able to win the public's love. In order to restore his status quo in the boxing world in 2003, the Ironborn fought Clifford Etienne and knocked him out in the 10th round.
Good instructions given by the ref in the early going. Mike gets him with the right hand, and Etienne.
After 17 months, there was a fight announcement between Tyson and another Brit, a heavyweight journeyman, Danny Williams.
There's the bell. We're underway.
Mike was the favorite and started the fight in his own style, catching up with the head of the Brit.
Tyson fights for a variety of reasons.
The former undisputed champion looked fresh, relying on his experience in every episode.
Punches up. These are vicious punches by Tyson. Cited for low blows in a couple of fights back in England. Tyson digging to the body the hard way.
Now, Danny Williams has still standing.
Look at this.
By the middle of the first round, legendary Mike delivered an uppercut and shook Williams.
Another left hook upstairs. A left uppercut staggers Williams.
Danny Williams then had to seek salvation in the clinch just to survive this hell and make it to the bell. 30 seconds before the end of the round, something happened that turned the outcome of the fight and made Danny Williams famous all over the world. On the video replay, it was clear that Iron Mike had injured his pivot foot in the attack, and now his fists had lost their knockout power. Williams sensed that Tyson had become slower and spread his wings, beginning to execute the Legends Fall protocol.
The problem is if you take this much, tire himself out.
Left hook upstairs out of nowhere by Danny Williams.
With one foot in the hospital bed, Mike continued to attack and close the distance.
Williams, and when he throws it, he's able to get that in a lot, and that's giving Mike Tyson a chance to land those shots.
Now some head movement by Tyson. Uppercuts to the chin. Williams with a left-right combination.
And that was the uppercut by Williams. He's ripping those shots.
Pushing Tyson back. It's competitive now.
When the referee called a break, Williams turned off the respect for the greatest athlete in him and allowed himself a cheap shot.
Body work with Williams. He is really making an impact.
But Williams didn't stop there, and with his next attack, he wanted to take not only Tyson's legacy, but also his future offspring's. The referee didn't ignore the illegal strikes and penalize the scoundrel.
Point being taken away from Danny.
Tyson's eyes were devastated as he literally watched the era of the baddest man on the planet come to an end. Williams picked up the pace in the fourth round and went on the attack like a beast, hammering nails into his opponent's coffin with every punch.
In some difficulty here in round 4. Big right hand by Daniel. Tyson that it was. That right hand from Tyson was the last sign of offense that he would show in this fight. Williams came in with that punch in his arsenal, and it's what allowed him to get the job.
You could see in his eyes that Mike wanted to keep fighting, but his body was refusing. Williams knocked out Tyson, getting the biggest win of his career and forever adding his name to the list of those who could beat Iron Mike. It seemed like the soul of the god of war was trapped in an aging human shell, refusing to accept the harsh reality. A year after his defeat to the Brit, the name of the legendary Mike was again on the billboards, and his opponent was another little-known boxer from Ireland, Kevin McBride. However, the reason for Tyson's return to the ring wasn't at all his pronounced desire to return authority. Dirty games of scandalous manager Don King still kept Mike in debt, and to pay off the destroyer of fates, he was obliged to fight again.
Joe Cortez, the referee. Here we go.
The Irishman had a chance to become part of a whole era and leave a mark in boxing history.
By Mike Tyson. What else Mike Tyson's doing, and it might not hurt him tonight, although he's getting hit on the inside.
Although Tyson's physical preparation left much to be desired, Iron Mike didn't lose his boxing skills.
A lot will depend early on Joe Cortez. Not in awe of Mike Tyson.
Round after round, the aged but not dead Mike was hitting the Irishman with punches that hit his head harder than aged whiskey.
Tyson will start off this round. Tyson punching it more even than his shelf life in this fight. Yeah, doesn't make for an exciting fight, but look completely gone, is he? He bites the glove and comes around with an...
Leading the fight on the judges' scorecards, it seemed that Tyson's power would send McBride straight to the hospital in Dublin, but the strength of the once great and terrible Mike was draining before his eyes. By the sixth round, Iron Mike reminded the spectators that, if necessary, he could play the role of Dirty Mike. First, he got a firm grip on McBride's arm, wanting to tear it off. And then he used his head, causing a cut to his opponent.
That's why both the fight. When he messed up both his arms.
The referee took 2 points off Tyson, who lost his composure for a moment and allowed the fight to continue. Mike fought till the last, giving the people what they've wanted for a long time: brutal chopping with any opponent.
Round for Mike Tyson. A real conundrum for McBride.
McBride turned on the momentum, and by the end of the sixth round, he was delivering punching combinations, sending Mike to his butt.
Left of the sixth round. And if McBride actually wins this round, it would be a 10-7 round.
Mike, by the end of the sixth round, was leading on the judges' scorecards, and millions of spectators were shocked by what happened next. Tyson refused to go to the next round to continue the fight, and the victory by technical knockout was counted to the Irishman. As it turned out, under the terms of the contract, Mike Tyson had to make at least 6 rounds in this fight, which in fact, he did. After this strange fight, tired of endless scandals, Mike Iron Tyson hung the gloves on the nail, putting an end to his legendary career and the golden era of world boxing.
Mike Tyson.
We flipped through a sliver of memories as the great and terrible Mike Tyson felt the bitterness of defeat. Mike Tyson's defeats aren't just numbers on his stats. They are stories of pain, frustration, and indescribable willpower. In each of them are lessons on how to deal with life's challenges and carefully choose people to surround yourself with. Don't forget that in every defeat lies an opportunity for a new rise. If you enjoyed watching, please like and subscribe. Thank you.